See, there are two types of languages in the world. I mean, already we've learned like what procedure oriented. Let's leave what procedure oriented. If only we come to the next part. So the languages are categorized to two categories. First one is object based, and second one is object oriented. Sometimes you will be asked to explain what is the difference in between object based and object oriented. So how can you define? See, it's very simple. If at all you have any language which is object based, it supports encapsulation, hiding, accessing, initialization, and operator overloading. Understood? What all things it supports? It supports encapsulation, data hiding, access mechanism, automatic initialization, and then operator overloading. So it will be available in notes, no need to worry about. What about object-oriented programming languages? Object-based have only encapsulation, hiding, access mechanism, automatic initialization and overloading. What about object-oriented programming languages? Object-oriented programming languages support all the things which are supported by object-based plus inheritance and dynamic binding. Understood? Object oriented will be having two extra facilities, that is inheritance and data binding. So this is the difference in between object based programming languages and object oriented programming languages. Now can you please tell me what this C++ is? Whether it is object based or object oriented? It is object oriented. Why? Because it supports everything. It has inheritance, it has encapsulation, it has initialization, it has overloading, it has dynamic binding. That's why we are working with a programming language called as C++, which is object-oriented programming language. Now let's have a look on the structure of C++ program. Understood? So every program will have the structure. Okay, if you go for C, it has a structure. If you go for PHP, it has a structure. If you go for Java, it has a structure. If you go for Python, it has a structure. Like that, even C++ has a structure for programming or to write a programs. So what would be the generalized structure of a C++ program? It is almost the same as C structure, but it differs little from it. So now let's have a look on that. See here, what we do is we will be having preprocessors. See, preprocessors are preprocessed at the time of compilation. Understood? So they will be executed at compilation time. Understood? So preprocessor, you will be having hash include, hash define, hash if def, and so on. There are so many. So they are called as preprocessor, but remember, preprocessor, that is include, is compulsory in C++. It was optional in C, including header files was optional in C, but C++ it is compulsory. Remember, you have to include header files. You will come to know what header files has to be included later. Understood? First comes what? The preprocessor. So next what happens is, we will be doing global declaration of whatever thing will be globally declared. We will be declaring classes, we will be declaring functions, we will be declaring variables, we will be declaring constants. Okay? So after preprocessor, we will be writing what? Class. Nothing is compulsory over here. You may be declaring class, may be declaring functions, because function can be declared or function can be defined in two ways. One before main, another one is after main. That is left to you. Where you would like to write, that is left to you. Understood? So here what happens, after preprocessors, you'll be declaring, or simply you'll be declaring global. Instead of saying global declaration, you can say that class, functions, variables or constants will be declared. After that, what happens? The main function comes. But remember, always main function is like this. void main int. In C language, what happened? We used to write simply main and empty the round brackets. But here, int main void. Sorry, I'm sorry. This will be int main void. I'm very sorry. Understood? What do you mean by this? Do you know what does it mean? It means that there is one function called as main, which is taking nothing but returning one integer type of value back to who is calling it. Already we have learned that in C programming language, when I say execute, operating system calls whom? Operating system is going to call main function. Always execution starts from main. That's why it has been taught to the operating system. Whenever somebody says execute, whom it should call? It should call main function. So who is calling main over here? Operating system. Then to whom this int type of value will be returned? To the operating system itself. Understood? So that's why we write int main void. And in C language, what happened? This was the scope. This was the place. Immediately after open brace, we used to declare local variables. See, it was not possible for us to declare local variables wherever we want in C language. We had a particular place for them. That is immediately after open brace. Here you should have declared what? A local variable list. But here in C++, there is no particular scope or a place in a particular program to declare local variables. You can declare variables wherever you want, but before its first use. Remember this. You can declare variable wherever you want. It is not that they should come at the top. I want to say they should come over here. You can declare them wherever you want. But the constraint is before its first use. You will come to know about this later when we are writing our programs. So next is, here we will be writing what statement 1, statement 2, like that, what all are terminated with semicolon. You can write what any number of statements over here. But remember, always the C++ program should end with return 0. Understood? See why it should end with return 0? Because we are saying that integer type of value is return. See, return has two jobs. One, returning the control. Second one, returning the values allowed. Value. Understood? Because function can return only one value back. See, when simply the control is getting returned, no need to write return. If you write, no problem. If you do not return, then also no issues. Control will be sent back. But if at all with the control you would like to send the value back, it is compulsory for you to write what? The return statement. That's why we have written return 0. 0 is what kind of value? Is it an integer type of value or float type of value? It is an integer type of value. That's why the return type is 0. To whom this 0 is returned? To the operating system. Why to the operating system? Who has called this? Operating system, that's why. Please don't ask me what operating system is going to do with 0. I don't know. But we know that it is going to return what? 0, because here we have written int. So now this is the syntax of C++ programs. Understood?